welcome to Tea and Talk. I'm your host, Olivia Boughton. Today, I'm joined by my friend, Jaime Lanzillo. Jaime, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to get to talk to you. We've known each other a long time, and we'll get into that. But first, we'll talk about the tea. So today, we are using a tea set, which I received as a gift at Christmas from my friend, Angela.
Oh, love Angela.
Yes, love Angela. So it's a glass teapot, and I thought this is a nice thing for us to use today because we are steeping a flowering tea, which Angela also gave me. And it's a green tea with, some herbs and flowers and things that make it pretty. So it comes in a little ball, this tiny little tight ball of leaves, and then you add the water and you let it steep and it blooms into this lovely little golden flower. So the tea set itself, as I said, was a gift. It kind of has an Asian-inspired feel, so I thought we would enjoy this lovely orchid too, because it makes me feel like it's flowers and it's appropriate, more zen, right? We're having a little zen moment here. Yep. So I brought honey as well for us to put in our tea if you would like that. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this tea, and I discovered that the lid is quite hot, so I'm going to protect myself from getting burned. And this has a lovely light hue. Oh, and I can smell some jasmine flower. I don't know if you are getting a whiff of that yet or not.
Not yet.
But it's so nice. Okay, so there's for you. Would you like any honey?
Sure.
Okay. There's a little spoon there. You can help yourself. Aren't these cute little spoons? They came with the set too.
Those are amazing. They're amazing.
They're really so adorable. I love this little piece. My extra spoon, just in case I needed to stir things around in there, but it looks lovely. So I know it's going to be hot. I know, hot tea.
You can't drink
You can't drink.
hot.
Okay, well, why don't we let it sit for a moment? Okay. We'll start talking, and then we'll sip our tea. It is very hot, so usually, right, for people who've watched the show, generally the tea has been sitting for a while because I prepare it before my guests arrived, and then I take the leaves out so it doesn't steep for a half an hour and then taste like something totally different than it should. Right. But today, I didn't do that because we have this lovely flowering tea, and I wanted everyone to see it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so it is.
It almost looks like the design that's on the...
Yeah, it does. It does. We're very thematic today. So it didn't have a chance to really sit and kind of cool off a little bit. Yep. So we'll let it sit for a moment.
Especially because it's like 100 degrees outside.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's summertime, I know, serving hot tea in the summer, although that is,
Should brought some ice.
I know, right?
Iced tea. Ziploc bag.
Iced tea, that's right. So I'm just going to start talking to you, and then at some point we'll pause and have a little sip of our tea.
Sure.
So, Jaime, we know each other because you have done my hair for a long time, like a long time.
Well, this year, June was 26 years I've been hairdressing, so I'm pretty sure it was really close to the beginning.
It was really close to the beginning, yes, indeed.
And I did your mom's hair.
You did, yes, you did. And wedding hair when I got married, wedding hair, yes, fancy hair, in addition to just regular, hair maintenance.
All kinds of good stuff.
Yeah.
I have a lot of secrets I'm not going to tell.
That's right. Hairdresser never tells.
Client confidentiality.
That's right. So, as I said, we've known each other a long time, and I'm sure that there are people watching who are like, I know Jaime. But I want to hear a little bit about where you grew up and what your childhood was like, because not everybody maybe knows that about you. I don't know all the details, so.
Well, there's a lot of details.
There's a lot of details. You can.
Well, I grew up in Norwalk, Connecticut, and my father's family my father was born and raised here in Rutland. And so over the years of my childhood, we're always up here, visiting Nana, visiting uncles and aunts and different things. And so when it came time for me to pick a college to go to, I wanted to come up to Vermont.
Yeah.
And so Castleton just happened to be at my college fair in Norwalk, Connecticut. And I was like,
Hey.
that's a sign. So I got accepted, and I went 2 years for accounting, which at the time I thought I wanted to do. And then it was like, not so much. But I did not want to go back to Connecticut. Not that there's anything wrong with Connecticut. I just loved being in Vermont.
Yeah, I think that happens to people, right? That,
Yeah.
you know, you come here and realize this is a really great place to live, right?
And I have so much family here.
Sure,
Even though I
yeah.
left family behind, my two brothers, my mom, my dad, but they were all still there, 4 hours away.
Right.
Like,
right.
no big
right,
deal.
and they're still coming up here
And
to
there's-
visit
yeah.
the family that's here. So you still have that connection.
Yep. And so eventually, once I met my husband at the bowling alley, 30 years ago.
Oh.
Does that sound weird to say that?
Yeah, yeah.
30 years ago?
Isn't that funny? Time is so strange. Time is strange.
So, yeah. So we started our family, and we got married in 1996, and had our first child in 2001, and then another one in 2003, and we're all still here, and we're all still good. We all still like each other.
Yay!
Everybody gets along.
That's a miracle sometimes in itself.
Yeah,
Right?
but yeah, again, like you said, my family in Connecticut still always came up here. My dad came up for us and his own family, and my mom would come up for us and the kids, because her family was down on Long Island.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good.
Good.
all good now.
It's good. You mentioned your Nana, and I just had a memory. I think she was a substitute teacher by the time that I was in
At Christ the King.
school at Christ the King, and I remember her, but I didn't know until many, many years later
Right.
that you and she were connected at all.
That was my Nana.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully she was good.
She was great.
Yeah, she seemed like she was
great.
good. She was a good, very good woman.
Yes. Yes.
And so
What do you think? Should we?
I took care of her for her last
You did.
year
yes.
and a half or
Yeah.
so.
She's a nice lady.
She was so good. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
All right,
Shall we
let's
try to have a little
try.
sippy sip of this? Yes. Cheers. Dink. We'll go very carefully. Mmm.
It's nice.
Yeah, a lot of nice jasmine. There we go.
It's nice.
Mm-hmm.
I could still use an ice cube, but that's all right.
Next time. Of course, it probably would have melted by now. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's good.
For sure. So, so you decided at some point, right, that you were going to go to college for accounting, right? What was the rationale behind that, and then how did that change?
I guess in high school, I loved the accounting class, and I loved numbers. I still love numbers. Love it. But I think it got to a point where it was more than just numbers. You know, like you have to go into like the investment groups, and you have to go into the funds and the stocks and the bonds and all that.
Yeah, not as
So,
exciting.
Not as exciting.
Yeah.
So then I quit college after 2 years, and then I went to work at KFC,
That's right.
which is very different now than it was back then.
Yeah.
But my Nana said to me, well, if you're going to stay here and live in Rutland, you have to meet Rutland people. And she said there's an ad in the newspaper, if anybody remembers what newspapers are. Do you have them?
Yeah, right.
She said they
We're
have
dating ourselves, talking about the newspaper.
Right. She said there's an ad in the newspaper for a cocktail waitress at the bowling alley. And so I was like, all right, well, the bowling alley is right across the street from KFC, and if I bring a change of clothes or whatever, I could do both, fine. And that's where I met Jeffrey. Jeff.
Your husband.
Yes. And
So how long did you do that? You know, kind of cocktail
well,
waitressing.
I did that for one season, August through May, I think it ends.
Okay.
And then the next year, I think I did it the next year. Now I can't even remember. But then eventually they got done with cocktail waitresses. So
Right.
everybody has to go to the bar to get their drink.
You had to move on.
And
to
so then
something
I
else.
just stopped doing that. And then when Jeff and I got married, I thought, well, I'm not going to work at KFC my whole life. Not that that's a bad job to have, because it was great. And I met a lot of wonderful people. And
But it wasn't what you wanted for yourself.
I didn't even know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I referred back to my high school years. The first year that I went to high school as a freshman, I went to a trade school.
Okay.
And they had so many different trades. So you would rotate. Every 3 weeks you would do a trade, and then 3 weeks you would do school.
Oh, that's really neat.
And so you got to do, and I loved drafting. Again, I don't know if it's the numbers or I loved graphic design, whatever. And I loved hairdressing. And just the next year when it came time, I was like, I don't know. And so then I just went to my regular public high school.
Yeah.
Norwalk High School.
Right.
And then when Jeff and I, got married, and he's like, oh, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I go to hairdressing school. So I went to New England School of Hair Design in West Leb, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Right. So where was your first job?
That was at a salon called Born Beautiful on Terrell Street. And it was very convenient because I lived right around the corner on East Street. And so I could just walk. I didn't even have to drive.
Gosh, that was easy.
Yeah.
That was where you first did my hair at Born Beautiful.
Yep.
Yep. Long time ago.
Yep.
We're not going to.
I was there for like 6 years. And then in the meantime, I had 2 kids. So after the second child, it was kind of, time for a change. And so then I got on board with my friend Jackie Lorman, who opened Sheer Heaven Salon and Day Spa. And we were together for 18 years. Gosh. I know.
What's with time?
I
what
know.
Is with time,
like,
Jamie?
Why? How come I just can't say, oh, well, I was there for a year. No, I wasn't. It was 18, 19 years.
But you don't look a day older.
Oh, geez. I'll take a sip of tea for that one.
That's right. The time goes by, but we're not aging. You see, that's how this works.
That's right.
Right?
And when you tell people that you have kids that are 22 and almost 21, 22, almost 23, 21-ish, they go, what?
Right.
I don't know, but it was like just yesterday I met you,
Yeah. I know. I feel like I actually remember when you had to take maternity leave and other people had to do my hair.
And did that freak you out?
I didn't enjoy that. I mean, no disrespect to anybody else, but I think many women feel that when they have a hairdresser who knows what they like and how their hair is, it can be nerve-wracking and disconcerting to have somebody else do their hair because you have that anxiety of how's it going to look? Will they know all the weird things about my scalp and my hair and how it grows or doesn't grow?
It's like one thing if they're like, all right, just shampoo, condition, fine. But yes, with like coloring and
color or perms or even cuts,
Cuts can be different.
I remember when I was going off to college, And I felt like...
When did you go off to college?
I
don't
know.
remember that.
Yeah, I know, because I remember...
It was so long ago.
Yeah, it was so long ago. I remember saying to you, I don't know what I'm going to do, Jamie. I'm going to be gone, and da, 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 da. And you were like, you can go to somebody else. Like, you were very, like, you know, it's totally fine. And I remember that I did, because you told me I could. And I went to a very nice salon in Saratoga, which is where I was at school. And I did not like what they did to my hair, you know. And I felt like the person who did my hair did not hear me, you know. And I remember you telling me, oh, tell them this or that,
Yes,
you know.
yes.
You kind of gave me the things to
The
say.
little cue cards.
Exactly. Exactly. And it just didn't work out. And I was like, you know, never again. I'm just going to wait until I'm home. If my hair is, you know, under my heels, then so be it, because I am going to go see Jamie.
Listen, I've had clients that come from Boston and Maine. You know, the girls that grew up with me doing their hair, and then they
exactly.
go off to their lives, and then
Exactly.
they still go, no, I'm just gonna come back because they have to come see their family or whatever, and they're like, and then I'm just gonna have Jamie do my hair because it's good.
It speaks to your skill. It really does, you know.
I have one client who I did, it's a men's haircut. It's, you know, very easy, very typical men's haircut. But I did his hair for like 7 or 8 years when he worked at, it's community health center now, but it wasn't, but then he finally got a job at in his hometown.
Okay.
So he would come get his haircut after work when he worked in Rutland.
Right.
7, 8 years. And then he got a job in Bennington, where he lives. And still, it's probably been like another 7 or 8, 9 years. Every 4 weeks, he drives from Bennington to Rutland to get a haircut.
Yeah.
But it's like he goes, yeah, I changed my doctor, I changed my dentist. He's like, but I just...
But not the hairstylist. Nope, nope.
Sometimes you just don't want to take the chance.
Well, or sometimes you do, and it does not work out, you know. And it is hair, right? It'll grow.
It always grows.
Right? And you can change it up, but you know, it's a reflection of how you look and also how you feel. So you want somebody, you know, that
Like
you
said,
trust.
that you trust.
Yes.
And they know your hair because
Yes.
they've been doing it for a while.
Exactly.
And that's like such a wonderful feeling to have as that in that profession is that, you know, there is a lot of people that, you know, there's a lot of people that they are okay with like jumping around.
Sure, jumping around. Yep.
Because they're fine.
Yep.
But then it just feels good to have those people that are so tried and true, and they're like, no.
Right, and they have such confidence in you and your ability, and I am one of them. So thank you very much for all the years. And cheers again. We're just gonna cheers. Yes. Do you want any more tea? I'm gonna pour myself a little more tea here.
You already drank yours?
I did, because I like hot things.
Well, I'm older than you, so if I drink too much, I'll have to take a potty break.
A potty break. Yeah, we haven't had to do that yet for the show. We won't start today then. Okay. Yep. So tell me, what's your favorite thing about doing hair?
It really is the socialization. Like, I love doing hair.
You're a very social person.
I love doing hair, but that is like the avenue that I took that my body and my brain, I guess, knew way ahead before I did, that I just love people. I love interaction. I love socializing. I love talking. I mean, even when you're done talking about, oh, hair, this, that, and then next thing is like, all right, so what are you making for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing this weekend? You know, it's like just...
Yeah, you're a conversationalist. Yep.
I guess you could say that.
Yep.
So like I said, I didn't know that that's what was meant to be, but I guess...
Kind of found you, right, in a way, because, right, you said you were kind of doing this trade school, and you really liked that, but you didn't feel like you were ready to make a decision at the time. And then you sort of took a really different path. Which seemed like it would fit.
Because like I said, I love numbers.
You love numbers.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
numbers, always.
Yep. But eventually you kind of got back to hair, which is what you had been inspired by in high school. It's just funny that, you know, life can take us down different paths, but I think ultimately, you know, if we're open, we can find the thing that we're meant to be doing, you know, even if it's a kind of windy, twisty road to get there, you know.
And when I was...
But you might not have met Jeff if you had gone straight into...
accounting.
You know, accounting or hairdressing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because I didn't do that until after... Right. Yeah, after we married. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah.
Things happen for a reason, you know, and...
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it's not always clear to us what that is, but...
And I'm here sitting here talking to you because I love to talk.
Yes.
I go home and Jeff's sitting on the couch and he's eating like chips and salsa or whatever, and I come in and he's like, and I'm like, blah, 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 and he looks at me and he goes, didn't you just talk all day?
Yeah.
And I go, yeah,
yes,
I did.
It's a gift. It's a gift.
The gift of gab.
The gift of gab. So besides hair, what else do you like to do in your free time? Which I know is not a lot of time, you know.
Would you like to know? I've recently, because there was not a lot of hobbies that I really ever had.
Right.
So it was more like after the day was done, I'm like, just Jeopardy, Wheel of Torture, like just relax.
Right.
You know?
Cooking.
Right. Well, I love to cook. I do love to cook. And I have my friend Steven that helps me a lot. But I recently became a little bit addicted to coloring.
You showed me a couple of the things you've worked on. Oh, aren't you so sweet? Oh, she made me something.
Yeah, I don't know how well they can see it.
Yeah, it's not a glare. Oh. Yes. Oh, this is a great quote. Would you like an adventure now, or shall we have our tea first? J.M. Barrie. Yes, tea first.
Tea first.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. That's
You're welcome.
So sweet.
And I took the,
So
I don't know, I know you can't really see it, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do for the teapot.
Yeah.
So I took inspiration from a tea kettle that Graham has, that's a rooster.
Yeah.
And so
that's
it's
cool.
the black and the white and the dots and the red and all that. Yeah, I can show you a picture of it later.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Well,
I think
you
we
are
can
so
set
welcome.
it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's one thing to color, but you've shaded things nicely. And we were talking.
I'm so addicted.
The last time I was in the salon, actually, about you sort of getting into this and how it's
if there's anything good
so
to be
fun.
addicted to, coloring is
is it, right?
Is it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a stress reliever too, right?
And now I'm learning to actually draw, like not draw, but like make things with the colored pencils that are not there.
Right.
And that's, the struggle is real.
Right, you're going down this new sort of artistic path. And I mean, hair is an art in itself, right?
That's what a lot of people tell me.
Yes, I mean, I think so. You know, if you give me a pair of scissors and, you know, put somebody's head in front of me, it's not going to be like it would be if it was you with the scissors.
After this is over, I'll show you what I just did today.
Okay. But, you know, there's an artistic element to that, right? You have to be able to see things in a certain way and then know, you know, there's problem solving as well, right? Sometimes sometimes very obvious problem solving, like if someone comes in with gum in their hair or something like that. But also not so obvious problem solving, like they went to another salon and had something really horrible happen and now they are looking for
fix it.
Repair, or just the, you know, the oddities of people's hair.
And even just sometimes people saying, well, I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. I want to do something different.
Yes, I've done that to you. More than one occasion, for sure. Jamie, I don't know.
I want to have red hair today.
Yeah, or like something, I don't know, just different, right? I've done that.
Feathers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The feathers were fun.
The feathers were fun.
Blue and pink. That was a whole thing at the
Yes.
time. Yeah. It was trending.
a trend.
It was trending. And I usually don't hop on those, but I did. I
But
liked the feather.
that worked good.
Feather was fun.
Yep.
Yeah. And the pink underneath.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, fun times.
Yep.
Fun times. But so there's art in that, I think, and now you're kind of, you know, going in a
I'm doing it on paper now.
Right, exactly. What would be viewed as a more traditional art form, right? Drawing, you know, coloring, kind of using 2D media to express.
And I have an adult child that went to the University of Hartford and graduated with a bachelor's in fine arts, illustration, and art history.
So you have an expert in your life.
Well, when I said to Graham, I go, I think I'm gonna start coloring, and he was like, all right. I go, so I could pick me. We're at Michael's. Pick me out, you know, some colored pencils. Mom, I have colored pencils. And I said, I know, but I want ones that are like a light shade and a dark shade of each color. Graham's like, I have colored pencils, Mom.
Yeah. That's like me at home with my husband, actually, right? Because sometimes we have some, you know, adult coloring books, right, for, you know, I mean, designs, but very intricate designs. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to color because it's, you know, stress relieving. And,
absolutely.
And, I mean, Jim has, you know, more colored pencils than, you know, I could ever imagine exist. Because he's an artist, so he has all that stuff, right?
Well, that's the thing. Graham goes upstairs to the spare bedroom where all, you know, his college stuff is, and pulls out this box of, you know, Prismacolor 150 colored pencils, and I'm like, what do I do with that? Okay, I only wanted maybe 12.
Right. You're thinking like, you know.
But that's why that happens.
Yes, exactly, because you have so many options, right?
150 options.
Right. A huge color palette is available to you. Yeah. So we're almost out of time, and
that's too bad.
every guest I have on, I feel like it goes so fast, but this went really fast with you.
Well, because we talk so fast to each other because we know each other so
Like,
well. It's like you're in the salon chair.
It's like I'm under the dryer, except, you know.
You're right.
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not today. But I want to ask you to tell us something that you love about living in this area of Vermont, about Rutland County, just being here. And you've lived other places, so.
Only one other place, but yeah. I think what I love about it is that it seems like it can be a fast-paced city, not quite as fast as when I go back to Connecticut.
Oh yeah, Connecticut.
So I still get that feeling of like it's a fast-paced city.
Right.
Like when you want to get somewhere, you know where you want to go, you can go. Yeah, there's lights, there's traffic, there's this and that. But like it's a fast-paced city, but then at the same time, it's so slow sometimes compared to you know,
many other places. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be stuck in traffic in New York City or Boston or LA. You know, I'd rather be stuck in traffic in Rutland.
Yeah.
Because even then, it's chill.
Yes. I love that, right? It's chill. And I think that kind of sums it up.
Yep.
Sums it up. Well, this has been lovely. Thank you so much
One more
for
cheers.
joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you to all of you who are watching today. And we'll see you next time on Tea and Talk.